Shalom. Shalom Babakar. Dawab Babakar. Kal Halalim La Banawa Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Barakti Yahweh, Barakti Yahweh Shai, Barakti Yahweh, Barakti Yahweh Shai, Barakti Yahweh, Barakti Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the prophets of that body. So double honors to the apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the prophets of that body, and Shalom to the 144,000, and the greater multitude, the 1/3, wherever they are scattered to the four corners of the earth. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Just a couple of topic coming on my mind. I was inspired by a situation, and also through the spirit. GMS get this work too. I believe the prophet's name is Manatazak. Talks about there is what was it? How did we say it? It was the title of the video. There are no losses, there are only lessons. But I'm gonna sort of like put a little different twist on it. But anyway, I'm gonna go into the verse of the day first. Sunday, the 9th of February, right? Psalm 121, verse 5. The Lord Yahweh Bashem Eshai is thy keeper. The Lord Yahweh Bashem Eshai is thy shade upon thy right hand. Exactly, The Lord is our protector. We get a lot of comfort from the Lord, no matter what you're going through. When you just focus on Yahweh Bashem Eshai, it's like a balm put on the ointment put on your wounds, spiritual wounds, even sometimes even your physical wounds. And it's such a barakim that the Lord, I'm speaking for myself, chooses someone like me. I don't even think anything of myself, and Yahweh Hashem Shai, bless his name, gave me his name, gave me the belief, and I sometimes get overwhelmed thinking about that, But nevertheless, what I wanted to talk about was learning from your mistakes. Sometimes we feel that even the smallest thing that you do is such a headache. It could be anything. It could be just general day-to-day things that you got to do in life. It could be day-to-day activities, whatever you got to do. There are no losses. The only life lessons, you learn from them. You learn from your mistakes. As elder, also Bishop Manatazak also mentioned this as well. He talks about being an electrician, and Elder Apostle Gabar sort of like confirmed it, saying, because I believe they both work they're hands-on, they're in the construction field in various aspects, like be it carpentry or electrical work or plumbing, and Bishop Manatazak said that, if you don't make mistakes, you're not a really good electrician because you learn from it, because you're working with electricity, man. That is some serious business, and you got to sometimes, take your losses and move on and learn from it. And in this case, life is like that too, where you might make the most stupidest mistake. I'll speak from my perspective. You might make the silliest mistake. I'm thinking, why didn't I think clearly before? What the hell happened? And just for that small second, there's a demon that jumps on you, and you can feel it, and you try to shake it off. And then you think, sometimes think, have I had too much coffee or something? Because when you have coffee, you're in that zone, right? You're just zoned out. You're just focused. Sometimes you have a little too much focus, where you just sort of like get your head stuck into a situation where you want to like just keep going at it and going at it and going at it. It's like, for example, over polishing a car. I just that kind of like rigorousness where you get you got OCD where you just want to clean your house extremely well. A little spot there, you got to pick it up. I'm just trying to give you examples of what I'm trying to say, where you do things, you make mistakes, whatever it is in life, you make mistakes in, right? You don't, it's not just like you just falling flat on your face. It's like you actually learning from that mistake. The Lord is not trying to destroy you. So what I've learned in the past is now, it's like a programming in your mind where, okay, I was in that situation a little while ago, right? Now from that situation, I've learned to adapt and remedy the situation through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Ashai by doing X, Y, and Z. Um, and so therefore you learn either a new trade, or you learn something new out of it, or learn how to remedy a situation through another method which you've never ever done before. So you learn new skills, new life skills, new ways of maneuvering your mind like a boxer. You bob and weave, you duck, you know what I mean, you counter punch, because that's how boxers, how they learn. They learn through training, through sparring, you know and that's the way you learn. And you don't get afraid of getting hit when you're sparring, right? So you can actually learn from it. So life is like that as well. It pisses you off at the time. Think, what the fuck is wrong with me? Why did that happen? It's something so simple. Why the fuck did that happen? But it happened. But then you look into it, how to remedy the situation, and you learn another way, and you learn a method of redeeming yourself. Like whatever the situation may be. It could be something simple as, what can I use an example? Using, what? I'm just going to keep it general, and it could be anything. It could be any simple thing that you can make a mistake in, right? And then from there, you look into how do I remedy the situation? The Lord guides your steps. Okay, I'll do this, this, and this, and then you learn from it. And then when you do get into that situation again, right? You know that okay, I was in that situation before. This is how I did it, and to avoid that, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do these same steps I did last time, because I'm going to be in the same jam again. All right. So what you do is you learn from it. All right. You learn from your mistakes. It's like being with crazy women. All right. You learn the signs from being with previous crazy women, and then you meet another crazy woman and say, okay, I don't care how fine she is, I'm not dealing with that again. All right. No matter how much you're burning or whatever, you think, I want to hit that. She's single, she's fine, but she's crazy. She's got the same damn traits. You just say bye-bye to her. You get rid of her. You don't show where you live. All right. You block her number, whatever you got to do. You don't avoid it, especially if you know you've been through a lot of ish with women of that sort of caliber. All right. So it's basically recognize the signs, and you learn from your mistakes. Okay. So there are no losses, just life lessons. And also there are no, and plus you learn from your mistakes. It's like how in the kingdom we're going to have, Lord willing, if you're part of that number, to be beamed up on the first go. You're going to have the laws inside you, and because you're going to have the experience of this life, right? I mean, obviously we're not going to make mistakes anyway, because we're going to have new bodies. But I'm just thinking in this body right now, how just to sort of give you an example, you're going to know that, okay, we're in this life, and this is what we did in this life. We ate unclean, some of us smoked, we drank. Not drinking's fine, though. I'm just saying, you smoked or whatever. You had ill thoughts, messed up thoughts, and you did stupid things. But in the kingdom, you're gonna know, oh, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. I'm not gonna, not do that. And then laws are gonna be there implemented in you, saying, oh yeah, that counteracts that, that counteracts that, that counteracts that. Kind of that sort of example. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. I know I'm all over the place. So there are no losses, just life lessons, and also, you learn from your mistakes. Yeah. So I'm just going to go into a couple of scriptures. I'm not going to try and keep it too long. Where are we? Yeah, Proverbs 24:16. Right. For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. You do make mistakes. Yeah, you do. Okay. But a just man would have remorse, saying, why? You get to the point where you almost want to punch a wall, but you say, no, I ain't going to do that. I might break my hand, or you might release it on a punch bag. But a wicked person is just going to fall into the mischief, have a dirty grin on his face and say, this is all right. I'm not too sad about the situation that I'm in. You know, so you will make mistakes, but you get up from it. And as long as you learn from each time, and through the Spirit that, yeah, okay, I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to rush into things. I'm going to have more clarity. I'm going to pace myself out. I'm going to calm myself. I'm going to call upon the Lord in my mind as well when I'm out and about. I'm going to calm myself, pace myself out. I'm not going to panic. Because when you panic, when you rush, what happens? You make mistakes, right? Because we're inside the time is speeding up so fast. It's like you scratch your head in the morning, all right? And before you do anything, you do your prayers, you do your morning workout, whatever. Before you know, it's like 3 p.m., which is beautiful. I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying, time is moving so fast. So you feel that you've got to move fast enough just to kind of like get certain things done in the day, because we've got to function in this evil world while it's here, whatever it is, where it's, praying is beautiful. I'm not talking about praying. Whether you got to work out, whether you got to cook and clean, whether you got to take care of your children, take care of your elderly parents that are sort of like, keep a watch over them, keep the house clean, you know what I mean? Wash your car, whatever, every so often whenever you get time, if the weather permits. All these extras, then you get extras thrown in as well, which is extra headaches. This is broken down, that's going to be taken care of. This has happened, So you got to move fast, and you make mistakes out of it, And then from that happening, then you try and cut corners as well, and you might do something which isn't right, So you learn from your mistakes, man. Proverbs 24:16 again. For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked fall into mischief. Okay. Let's go to admonition. Definition of admonition. Admonition is a firm warning or reprimand. He received numerous admonitions for his behavior, like you'll reprimand your children. Oi, Charlie, stop behaving that way. Oi, Michael, don't do that again. Don't hit your sister. If you do, you're going to get it. You might whack your son on the legs or something, with your hand, of course, in a certain way. You're not going to hurt your children that crazy. You know what I'm trying to say, right? So you get like a reprimand. It could be verbal. It could be physical in certain cases. All right. Those of us that had growing up had a father in their life. You know how that goes, right? So 1 Corinthians 10 and 11. Now all these things happen unto me, Salakia, and now all these things happen unto them for ensamples, and they are written for our reprimand, admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come. All right, what's an ensample? Let's go to ensample. Definition of ensample. An ensample is an example or model that is used to illustrate a point or provide guidance. It can be a person, event, or a story that serves as a positive or negative example of behavior or principle. All right, and this is focusing on that. 1 Corinthians 10 and 11. Now these things happen unto them for an example, right? I use the word example. And they are written for our reprimand, okay? Upon whom the ends of the world are come, all right? So even from our own perspective, we learn from our own examples, all right? Or other people's examples. And then you sort of like, compare the two, and then you learn from it so you don't do it again, all right? Let's go to 1 Corinthians 10 and 11, is it NIV? 1 Corinthians 10 and 11 NIV. Let's see what has. These things happened to them as examples and were written down as warnings for us, on whom the culmination of the ages has come. What's culmination? Culmination. Definition of culmination. The highest or climatic point of something, especially as attained after a long time. The deal marked the culmination of years of negotiation. All right, basically, the reaching of the meridian by a celestial body. You're basically coming to the end. All right, like a climax type situation. All right. These things happened to them as examples and were written down as warnings for us, on whom the culmination of ages has come. And you'll be going through smaller things like this, so you learn from it. And also, these things are happening to you because what's going to come on this earth is going to be so drastic. You're going to need these small examples not to fall into those bigger traps and snares, you know? Because Revelation 12, verse 12, from, Esau are going to come down hard because they know they've got but a short time, you know? So the small things that you go through, life lessons, which aren't losses, they're life lessons. They're not, you learn from your mistakes. They're happening so you get admonished, and you learn from those examples. And then also, you hear testimonies of, our elders and prophets, and and then you learn from that as well. And then you sort of like incorporate that in your life. And obviously, as you read the scriptures and as you grow, you learn from that as well. So it all comes together, right? Like a jigsaw puzzle, right? So okay. James 1 and 2, and then 1 and 4. James chapter 1. James chapter 1 and 2. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations. All right? So count it all joy. It don't feel right at the time, but then the Lord is testing you and you're learning from your mistakes. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. All right? So you're being tried to build you up, the building blocks of your faith. All right? And also, it's also the Lord is building up for what's to come on this earth as well. Because it's not going to be no cakewalk, that what's going to come on this planet Earth. You think that, it's just going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Soldiers kicking down your door. You might get pulled out of your car by soldiers or whatever. You might get taken to a concentration camp. People drilling in your head. There'll be all sorts of shit going on, man. You have to protect yourself, your children, if you got young children. If you got a wife, you got to protect her. You got to protect your parents, whatever the situation may be. However the Lord will do it. But that's where faith comes in, because the Lord Yahweh Hashem Shai could do many wonders. And those of you that have had spiritual dreams, the possibilities are humongous in terms of what the Lord could do for you. All right? Whether it's spiritual power, whether it's angels coming there just to protect you, whether the Lord is sending spiritual power where the angels coming there to sort of like blind the soldiers, where your car or vehicle, if you're trying to get past a checkpoint, can't be seen, or something, something miraculous. All right? Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have a perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. All right? So through patience, you're perfected. As they say, good things come to those who wait. And what are we waiting for, man? Waiting for to be redeemed completely, through the spirit power of Yahweh Shem Shai. So whatever you go through, man, it's they're life lessons. You learn from your mistakes. All right. One more. Perfect. And I've been meditating upon the scripture the last couple of days. Every time I feel something, I say, with scriptures, the Lord puts a scripture in my head. Psalms 55 and 22. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. Whatever it is, okay, you try your best to do and attack the situation, deal with it, nip it in the bud, as they say. All right, you try your best. Remember one thing: you don't cut corners. You don't try and do things that are sort of like that could get you into trouble, right? Always follow the so-called laws of the land, even though they're wicked. All right, and most importantly, pray, follow the laws of the land, and try and do things the so-called right way. Yeah, do it the right way, and stay on top of it. And Lord Yahweh Hashem Shai will get you out of that situation. Okay, and the Lord will do wonders with, The Lord can work on people's minds, whatever it is, whatever the situation may be, the Lord can do it, man. All right, and the Lord can do miraculous things. All right, don't underestimate Yahweh Hashem Yashai. Okay, those of you. All right, because how can you underestimate the Lord? Look at that. We're living in His creation, even though Esau's destroying it. I mean, the Lord gave it this piece of shit cracker, Edomite, lowly piece of crap, right? Dominion over the earth for a short time, Once a dweller in the caves on all fours who couldn't even speak, wore his loincloths until it disintegrated, Ate out of his dead mother's skull once her body disintegrated, Ate raw meat, bloody, maggots, putting maggots and things like that out of his, all sorts of bugs out of his hair, body hair, so, body hair like a carpet, that, it's disgusting. Someone like that. Now you see him today, side parting, clean shaved, so-called clean shaved, all shaved up, stinking like shit because they don't shower, wearing a suit, and they're thinking that they're somebody. All right. So how much more can the Lord do for His own people, His chosen, the Israelites? So listen, do not get weary. Don't get overwhelmed. All right. So cast thy burden upon the Lord Yahweh Hashem, and He shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. All right. Let's see if there's any more scriptures. Let's go to here. Psalms 145. Psalms 145, verse 14. The Lord Yahweh Hashem Yashai upholdeth all that fall, and raiseth up all those that be bowed down. Right? So the Lord will uphold you, if you fall. Okay? And, all those that are in a situation where they are bowed down, whatever it could be, spiritually, physically, mentally, hell, even financially, the Lord can raise you up. Cast your burdens upon the Lord. A just man falleth 7 times. All right? So therefore, there are no losses. There are only life lessons. You learn from your mistakes. Okay? And these small mistakes that you make, or these small life lessons that you get, are done to build you up and to also build up your faith as well. Because what's coming on this planet Earth, pursuant to the book of Jeremiah 30 verse 7, Jacob's trouble, as well as the other atrocities that are laid out for this earth and beyond, or the other prophecies that are laid out, to happen before we are allowed, or those that are chosen to allowed to be enter into the kingdom. All right, those things are going to happen, and when they happen, you're going to be built up to deal with what's coming on this earth. So all this, what I've said, is basically faith-based as well. So Hebrews 11 verse 1, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. All right, without faith, it is impossible to please the Lord. All right, that's Hebrews 11 verse 6. So faith is key. All right, you can't be one of those jakes that say, I believe it when I see it. You can't do that. All right, so you learn from your mistakes. There's no losses, only lessons. All praises to Yahweh Bashem Ashai Bashem Rakar Kodash.